Olivia Bennet smoothed down her burgundy dress one more time, checking her reflection in the restaurant's window before going inside. The dress was borrowed from her roommate, the handbag, a convincing knockoff she'd found at a thrift store. Her blonde hair was carefully styled, makeup applied with precision. She looked, she hoped, like someone who belonged at this upscale restaurant, like someone who had money, like someone worthy of the man she was about to meet. Olivia worked 2 jobs to support herself and send money to her mother who was struggling with medical bills. This blind date with a wealthy tech entrepreneur had been arranged by her well-meaning friend who thought Olivia deserved someone who could take care of her. The friend had coached her to downplay her financial struggles, to seem more established than she was. So here, Olivia was playing a part, pretending to be someone she wasn't. She spotted him immediately. Tall, early 30s, well-dressed in a crisp white shirt, handsome in a casual, confident way. And beside him, holding his hand, a little girl about 5 years old with blonde hair and a bright pink and yellow dress. Olivia's prepared story included being a marketing consultant who traveled frequently. It did not include being comfortable around children. Since she'd assumed this was an adult dinner, the man stood when he saw her, offering a warm smile. "Olivia, I'm Nathan Cole. This is my daughter, Ivy. I hope you don't mind her joining us. My sitter cancelled last minute." "Of course not," Olivia lied, forcing brightness into her voice. "Hello, Ivy." Ivy waved shyly, then tugged on her father's hand. "Daddy, can I have the chicken nuggets?" "We'll see what they have, sweetheart." Nathan turned back to Olivia as they sat. "I apologize for the short notice about Ivy. If you'd prefer to reschedule, it's fine. Really." Olivia settled into her chair, acutely aware of maintaining her posture, her cultivated image of ease and sophistication. They ordered drinks and began the awkward dance of first-date conversation. Nathan asked about her work, and Olivia delivered the story she'd practiced. Marketing consultant, freelance, recent projects with mid-sized companies. All technically true but framed to sound more impressive than it was. What she didn't mention: the marketing was social media management for small businesses that paid barely enough to cover rent. The freelance work was sporadic. The projects were often one-off gigs that never led to steady income. Nathan talked about his work developing educational software, about being a single father after his wife died 3 years ago, about trying to balance his company with raising Ivy. He was genuine, open, seemingly unguarded. Ivy was restless, as 5-year-olds are. She colored on her kids' menu, asked questions, occasionally interrupted adult conversation. Olivia tried to engage appropriately but felt out of her depth. She didn't know how to talk to children. Her prepared persona hadn't included this scenario. Dinner progressed. Olivia noticed Nathan watching her. Not her face or her borrowed dress, but lower. She followed his gaze and her stomach dropped. Her shoes in her careful preparation. Olivia had forgotten about her shoes. The burgundy dress, the perfect hair, the knockoff designer bag, but her shoes were worn flats, the leather scuffed and separating from the sole in places. Cheap shoes that had walked too many miles, worked too many shifts, survived too many tight months. They completely contradicted the image she'd tried to project. Olivia felt heat rise to her face. She tried to tuck her feet under her chair, but Nathan had already seen. Their eyes met, and she saw recognition there. Not judgment exactly, but understanding. He knew. The rest of dinner was uncomfortable. Olivia's carefully constructed confidence crumbled. She became quieter, less performative. When the check came, Nathan insisted on paying, despite her polite protests. As they prepared to leave, Ivy dropped her crayon under the table. Olivia bent to retrieve it at the same moment Nathan did, and they nearly bumped heads. "Thank you, Ivy," said when Olivia handed her the crayon. "You're nice, Daddy. Can Olivia come play with us at the park?" "Ivy, that's not Nathan," started Itoki. Olivia interrupted, making a decision. "Actually, Nathan, can we talk? Just the two of us for a minute?" Nathan arranged for Ivy to sit at the hostess stand with a coloring book, then joined Olivia outside the restaurant. "I need to apologize," Olivia said before she lost her nerve. "I wasn't honest with you tonight about who I am or what my life looks like." "The marketing consulting?" Nathan asked gently. "Is real, but not successful like I made it sound. I work 2 jobs and barely make ends meet. I live with a roommate in a tiny apartment. This dress is borrowed. That bag is fake. And these shoes," she looked down at her worn flats, "are the truth. I'm broke, Nathan. I'm struggling. And I tried to pretend otherwise because I thought you'd want someone more established." Nathan was quiet for a moment. "Why did you think that?" "Because you're successful. Because my friend who set this up said I should seem more put together. Because I'm tired of being judged for struggling, and I thought it would be easier to just pretend." "Can I tell you what I noticed tonight?" Nathan asked. "Not the shoes. I mean, yes, I saw them, but that's not what struck me." "What then?" "You were uncomfortable with Ivy. You tried to hide it. But I could tell you don't have experience with kids, and being around her threw off whatever performance you'd planned." Olivia felt shame wash over her. "I'm sorry. I don't have siblings, or nieces, or nephews. I've never really been around children. I didn't know how to act." "That's not a criticism. It's actually why I'm still standing here talking to you instead of politely ending this date." Nathan smiled slightly. "Most women I've dated since my wife died are either too eager to play instant mother to Ivy, or they pretend she doesn't exist. You were honest about not knowing what to do. You didn't pretend to be comfortable when you weren't. I still lied about everything else you did. And I appreciate you coming clean about it now." Nathan paused. "Want to know a secret? I almost cancelled this date 3 times. I was terrified. I haven't dated seriously since my wife died, and the idea of trying to be impressive while also managing a 5-year-old seemed impossible. So I understand performing. I get it. So where does that leave us? How about we start over? No performance, no pretending, just 2 people figuring out if they actually like each other." Nathan extended his hand formally. "Hi, I'm Nathan Cole. I'm a single dad who runs a small educational software company that's doing okay but not making me rich. I live in a modest house that needs repairs I keep putting off. And I'm terrified of dating but trying anyway." Olivia shook his hand, feeling something loosen in her chest. "Hi, I'm Olivia Bennett. I'm broke, but working hard to change that. I live with a roommate and eat a lot of ramen. And I have no idea how to talk to kids, but I'm willing to learn if that's important to you." "It is important. Ivy is my whole world, but I'd rather have someone honest about not knowing than someone faking it." They started dating honestly after that. Olivia admitted she couldn't afford fancy restaurants, so Nathan planned dates at parks and free museums, with Ivy included. He taught Olivia how to play with a 5-year-old, how to answer endless questions, how to read the same book 17 times without losing patience. Olivia showed Nathan her real life, the apartment she shared, the 2 jobs, the budget she maintained meticulously. She also showed him her dreams, her determination, her refusal to give up despite obstacles. 6 months later, Nathan's company secured major funding that did make him wealthy. One of the first things he did was pay off Olivia's mother's medical debt as a gift. "You don't have to," Olivia started. "I know, but I want to. You've spent years putting everyone else first. Let someone take care of you for once." 2 years after their disastrous first date, Nathan proposed. Olivia wore the same worn shoes to the proposal, a private joke between them about truth and pretense. At their wedding, Ivy was flower girl. During her toast, Olivia told the story of their first date, of trying to be someone she wasn't. "Those worn-out shoes were the best thing I could have worn," she said, "because they told the truth about who I was when I was too scared to tell it. Myself and Nathan saw them, saw me, and chose honesty over image. We built something real because we stopped performing and started being ourselves." Nathan added his own toast. "I fell for Olivia when she admitted she didn't know how to talk to kids instead of pretending expertise. Real beats perfect every time. And those shoes, I had them bronzed. They're sitting on our mantle as a reminder that the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, is always worth more than the prettiest lie." If this story resonated, like, share, and subscribe. Comment about choosing authenticity over performance.